A quick and thoughtful handmade gift that brings joy and peace all year long, the Serenity Mandala Wall Hanging Crochet Project is the perfect gift. Make one for yourself and anyone on your list. You could also use this mandala motif for Afghan shawls or a wrap. I would love to wrap myself in this gorgeous motif. Hi, I'm Kristin Omdahl and welcome back to my studio. In this series of videos, I'm going to show you how to make these beautiful wall hangings. Surprisingly enough, they each take the same amount of yarn. The one on the top uses a sampler kit of 8 colors of Be So Serene yarn, and the one on the bottom takes 1 solid hank of Be So Serene yarn. If you follow the link in the video description, you can get a list of all the materials you'll need, as well as download the free pattern plus chart. In this series of videos, I will be showing you how to read the chart, as well as how to crochet the stitches in the chart, and then how to join them to the metal ring. Let's get started. This is video part 2 for the Serene Mandala crochet wall hanging. In part 1, I showed you how to read the chart, and in part 2, I'm now going to show you how to crochet this beautiful motif. I'm going to start with one of the colors of Be So Serene yarn and tie our yarn onto our crochet hook. You can tie your yarn any way you like. I prefer a solid knot. If you prefer a slip knot, that's perfectly fine as well. And we're going to start with a chain 6. Slip stitch to the first chain at the beginning of the round to join. We now have a chain 6, chain 1, and we're going to work 16 single crochets in the chain 6 ring. Insert your hook into the ring, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Our first single crochet is made. You want to do 15 more single crochets into this ring. "16 single crochets is kind of snug for a chain 6 space, so don't feel worried about having to slide your stitches over to make room. That's perfectly okay. We're now going to slip stitch into the first stitch at the beginning of the round to join and fasten off our first color. If you're making this in one color, you do not need to fasten off between rounds, but if you're going to make it in the multicolor version, you will need to fasten off between rounds. Because there are so many ends in this project, I do recommend weaving in your ends as you go too, just so you don't stress yourself out with all of those tails dangling down. So I'm going to go to the back side of my work with my yarn needle and just weave those tails in as I go. You want to make sure that you weave your tail in multiple directions. It helps to ensure that the ends will not come out. We'll turn back to the front side of our work and we have round 1 complete with 16 single crochets. I'm now going to grab a second color of yarn. You can do this in any combination you like. You could do it in 2 colors, 10 colors, 8 colors, 1 color. It doesn't matter. The sampler kit has 8 colors, so for this particular motif we will be repeating some of the colors. Okay, round 2 begins with slip stitch into the first stitch. We're going to chain 4, which counts as a double crochet chain 1, and we're now going to double crochet in the next stitch. We're going to yarn over our hook, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, chain 1. And we're going to repeat double crochet chain 1 in every stitch around. Okay, we've come now to the beginning of our round, and you want to slip stitch to the top of the third chain at the beginning of the round to join. Remember, it was a chain 4 which counted as a double crochet chain 1, so the third chain would be the equivalent of the top of the double crochet, so that's why we slip stitch into that stitch to join. You're going to cut your yarn, fasten off, and now just to keep things nice and tidy, I am going to weave in my tails before we go on to round 3. For round 3, we want to begin in the top of a double crochet, so we're going to slip stitch to join, chain 1 and single crochet in the same stitch, chain 3, and single crochet into the top of the next double crochet. The repeat is to chain 3 and single crochet in the next double crochet. And we're going to repeat that all the way around. On our last repeat, we're going to replace our last chain 3 space with a chain 1 and half double crochet into the top of the first single crochet at the beginning of the round. Half double crochet is yarn over your hook, insert your hook into the specified stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. We're going to fasten off, only because we're changing color at the end of every round, and I'm going to weave in my ends before we begin the next round. The next round begins with joining our yarn into any chain 3 space with a slip stitch, chain 1, and single crochet in the same space. Chain 9, and single crochet in the next chain 3 space. The repeat is chain 9, and single crochet in the next chain 3 space. You want to repeat that all the way around. On our last repeat, we're going to replace the last chain 9 space with a chain 4 and work a double treble stitch into the first single crochet at the beginning of the round. A double treble is yarn over 3 times, insert your hook into the specified stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook, and yarn over, pull through 2 loops on your hook. We're going to fasten off, and I'll weave in my tails before we begin the next round. To begin round 5, we're going to slip stitch into any of the chain 9 spaces to join, chain 3, which counts as our first double crochet. We're going to work 3 more double crochets into that same chain 9 space, and a chain 1. In the next chain 9 space, we're going to work 4 double crochets, and a chain 1. And this is what we will repeat all the way around. 4 double crochets in the next chain 9 space and chain 1. At the end of this round, we end our last repeat with a chain 1 and slip stitch to the top of the 3rd chain at the beginning of the round to join. I'll now fasten off this color, weave in these loose ends, and then we'll get started on the next round. For the next round, we're going to join with a slip stitch into any chain 1 space, chain 1, and single crochet in that same chain 1 space. Chain 3, and we're going to work 4 double crochet together over the next 4 double crochets. Yarn over your hook, insert your hook in the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. We now have 5 loops on our crochet hook, and we have 4 of the legs partial double crochets started. We're going to yarn over, pull through all 5 loops on our hook, and we have a 4 double crochet together. Chain 3, single crochet in the next chain 1 space. And that's what we will be repeating around. Chain 3, 4 double crochet together over the next 4 stitches, chain 3, and single crochet in the next chain 1 space. You want to repeat that all the way around. I'm at the end of my last repeat. I finished my last chain 3 space, and I'm going to slip stitch to the first single crochet at the beginning of the round to join, fasten off, weave in my loose ends, and then we'll get ready to start the next round. For round 7, we're going to join with a slip stitch into any chain 3 space, chain 1, and single crochet in the same space. Chain 5, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, chain 5, single crochet in the next chain 3 space, and that's what we're going to be repeating all the way around. We've worked around, and on the last repeat we're going to replace the last chain 5 space with a chain 2 and a double crochet in the top of the single crochet at the beginning of the round. The chain 2 double crochet is the equivalent of a chain 5 space, but positions us in the top center to work the next round. That would be applicable if you're doing this in one color, but because we're doing it in multiple colors, we're still going to fasten off at the end of every round to change color. I'm going to weave in my loose ends and then show you the next round. We're going to join our yarn in any chain 5 space with a slip stitch, chain 1, and single crochet in the same space. In the next chain 5 space, we're going to work 9 double crochets. And single crochet in the next chain 5 space. And this is what we will repeat all the way around. We end round 8 with 9 double crochets in the last chain 5 space, slip stitch to the single crochet at the beginning of the round to join, fasten off, and then I'll weave in my tails and we'll begin round 9. For the next round, we're going to slip stitch into the first, second, third double crochet of the 9 double crochet shell, chain 3, which counts as a double crochet in that same stitch, 2 double crochets in the next stitch, chain 5, skip 1 stitch, and then work 2 double crochets each in each of the next 2 stitches. So we skip the 1, okay, so of that 9 double crochet shell, we skip 2 stitches, chain 3 double crochet in the third, 2 double crochets in the fourth, chain 5, skip the fifth, 2 double crochets in the sixth, 2 double crochets in the seventh, chain 1, and skip the 8th and 9th. We're also going to skip the single crochet and the next 2 double crochets on the next shell, so we're skipping 5 stitches with that chain 1, and then the repeat is 2 double crochets in each of the next 2 stitches, chain 5, skip the next stitch, 2 double crochets each in the next 2 stitches, chain 1, and skip 5 stitches. And you want to repeat this all the way around. Our last repeat is finished with a chain 1 and slip stitch to the top of the chain 3 at the beginning of the round to join. I'm going to fasten off, weave in my loose ends, and then we'll get ready to start the next round. In round 10, we're going to start the beginning of the round with joining with a slip stitch in any chain 1 space. Chain 1 and single crochet in the same chain 1 space. Now working in the next chain 5 space, we're going to work double crochet, chain 1 6 times, and one more double crochet in that same chain 5 space. So it's a total of 7 double crochets with a chain 1 in between each of them. So it's double crochet, chain 1 times 6, and then double crochet again. Then we single crochet in the next chain 1 space, and that's our repeat. You want to repeat this all the way around. We're going to finish the 10th round by slip stitching to the first single crochet at the beginning of the round to join. There is one more round to this motif. Make sure you come back for part 3 of the Serene Mandala wall hanging video series. In the third and final video, I'll be showing you how to crochet the final round of this motif, and we're going to crochet it onto the metal ring as we go. Download the free pattern and chart at the link provided in the video description. And please subscribe to my channel for more videos.